Welcome back to the channel, everyone. My name is Jackie.
I'm T.
And today we have a very good video for you. So just imagine this. It's 2022 and we're in the middle of the biggest shutdown that some of us has ever experienced in our life. We were so tired of being stuck in a house and we needed a place to go. But what if I told you that because we wanted to get away to a remote location, that turned into a money-making opportunity that we'll never forget?
Yeah, so we just wanted to get away, find some place that's kind of back to normal. That's what we wanted to do, and get away from everybody just wearing a mask like it's Halloween or something. And there was all this social distance, can't communicate with this person. It's like life completely changed when that event happened. Couldn't interact with people like you normally do. So we decided to rent a spot that was away from everything. And believe it or not, this spot that we chose to rent, that's what turned into our money making machine, all because of our vision.
Let's just put into perspective of what we're talking about when we talk about the house. Let's first touch on the location. This home was located in a rural part of North Carolina, and according to the 2023 census, last time we checked, it had about 80 people that was reported, you guys, on the census.
That's all you really seen there too.
Yeah, that is really what we really seen. What made this so unique, there was nothing around. Like, the town really had one gas station in the whole entire town and no grocery store. You had to go to a whole separate town just to get to the grocery store. It was legit in the middle of nowhere. But the one thing that the property did have was peace and serenity on a nice piece of land, a little over a half of acre.
It was quite interesting because the owner spouse was like, y'all really want this raggedy trailer? She was just calling it a raggedy place. I mean, it definitely was, but that's part of having that vision, and turn that vision into reality. So there were a lot of non-believers, obviously, the owner himself, the owner's spouse, the neighbors. And what's interesting there, some of you may have lived or live in towns like this, but your neighbor they'll just come in your door, come in the house as they please and leave. Neighbors think the neighbor even had a key. Yeah, the neighbor even had a key. The neighbor had a key. Family members didn't believe. Nobody believed in the vision. It was like how Elon Musk vision, he's a visionary leader. He has all these visions and he makes them happen. And everybody's like, wow, this is the type of thing that happened here. I mean, and like Jack said, the population was how many people?
87 reported. I don't know what it is in 2024, but 2023 it says 87. One of the very first reasons why we did this was the fact that it was so far away from everything. And I know that sounds crazy, especially being in what we were in 2022, but it was so much negative, dark energy going around during that time. And whenever we went out to the property, we would always feel like a sudden sigh of relief. Like, we didn't, like, that air is different in the country. It's just all the way different. It puts you in a state of mind that you really don't have to worry about things. At first, what we didn't mention was this property was just meant to be our getaway. However, one night while we were there, we came up with the idea, like, if we feel like this every time we come out to the property, I know it's raggedy, I know it's run down, but other people will pay for this. Because I would totally, T would totally, we would totally pay for this. So why wouldn't someone else pay for it? And that's how it all began.
We're talking about total bills, $300. $300 for a 3-bedroom, and that's including cable. And when we talked to other people in the area, they were like, yeah, my trailer I pay $200 a month, and that's still a stretch. Out here they charge this and this and that. And so to us, we're like, $300. In other places like Florida, for example, you're looking at over three grand, sometimes $4,000 to get a 3-bedroom spot. So we're like, okay, we gotta definitely capitalize on this opportunity. So that's when Jack started. Okay, what's the reasonable price to offer? Let's get into a lease, right?
Yep. We decided that we wanted to rent it instead. And the owners, they were taken back. Number one, they said, wait a minute, you want to rent this raggedy thing? We said, it's raggedy now, right? Because we always seen the vision. It's not going to always be raggedy. So this is how we structured the deal. The going rate for rent in that town for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath was anywhere from about $150 to $300 being the max based off of our research. We offered the owner $500. The owner was in complete shock. They thought they hit the gold mine. They started telling everybody they're offering $500 for my raggedy trailer, right? Yep. So when we offered the $500 a month, we enticed them even more. We said, not only will we give you $500 a month, we're going to pay you a whole year in advance. $6,000. So now they were like, oh my goodness. Who would do this? I don't know who would do this. But there's always the caveat. In exchange for all that, this property needs to be renovated. It needs to be brought up to standards where people on Airbnb would rent. And we were in charge of the whole project, making sure that everything that we wanted in the property was put into the property. But at this time, the landlords, they didn't care because they just seen that we turned over $6,000 for a raggedy trailer to them.
The renovations, the things we were looking for were, so the cabinets, you can see the wood on the cabinet because it was paint all over the place. The floors, one minute it feels like you're stepping like into the ground, and another minute it feels like you're walking upstairs. So the floors were definitely a big thing that needs to be repaired. So we had all the cabinets repainted. Other areas in the home were repainted. We had new flooring,
complete renovation in the bathrooms,
and a lot of other things as well to add value to it and make someone want to actually be in the place, basically.
So after the renovations were complete, we did a final walkthrough and we showed the owners, like, look, this is the renovation. And you guys would think that they would be like, oh, well, this is it. This is definitely what's gonna sell. It wasn't. They still didn't believe that it was gonna do anything. They just believed that we were the most foolish people to turn over $6,000 on a place that rents for less than $500, with $300 to be exact. And they just didn't see it, regardless of the renovations.
We added a washer and dryer, and they thought we were fools because they're like, well, everybody goes right down the street. It's less than 2 miles to wash and dry clothes. That's where everybody go. But we're thinking, why not just get a washer and dryer here? It's going to be convenient for one. And then it does get quite cold in this state. So someone's coming there, they don't want to go, even if it's just 2 miles down the road, and sit inside of a washer and dryer. You want the ability to go ahead and wash and dry your clothes right there with you instead of having to even take that trip.
After all of that, we were ready to launch. And when I say that this property just completely took off since day one, y'all, within 24 hours of listing the property, we were able to get a booking for the whole month that was over $1,400. The next booking was over $2,800. The next booking, over $2,000. We made back our money a little over 3 months.
On a place that someone is paying $300 a month for. Look at that profit margin. Even with us giving $500 a month. Again, same thing. Look at that profit margin. Some people, when they rent places, their profit is like $250 a month sometimes. So when you see things like that margin that we have, oh my goodness. And even the landlord and the spouse, they were still like, oh my goodness. They were so shocked then. And now at the stage, they finally believed our vision. They finally, because they saw it happening. And the way it went from there is they started talking a lot. They would tell the neighbor. Then the neighbor was quite jealous, tried to actually sabotage it. That's a whole nother story. But then the neighbor would tell some people that he knew. Then that person would tell some people that they know, and so on and so on and so on. So it became really the talk of the town, to the point where someone even, they wanted us to do their property. So I know you see everybody watch those shows. There's a lot of shows out there that people flip houses. Like you have like Boston Flip, I think House Hunters. I'm not sure if they do. It's a bunch of shows that does it. We're not those house flippers, but what we do is we have a good recipe that works, where we know how to run a successful Airbnb. We know how to run successful rentals, making profits. That's something everybody's good at, something. And this is one of the things that we truly excel at. We had a lot of success doing it.
So if you are interested in Airbnb or want to know more about how we got into it, if you want to know about the rental arbitrage and how it works, negotiating, or anything like that, we will leave a link in our description so you can book a call with us and see if this is for you. Because Airbnb, in our opinion, is a highly underrated real estate strategy.
Definitely is. And so if you haven't checked out our other videos, also go check out our other videos. Also, don't forget to like, comment, share, and definitely subscribe.